Uno andiri kuda kunonyenga uyoyo tiri kupindirana here kana kuti
Steve knows.
They are thinking about the roller day only. If you ask her, what are you going to do after the roller day? She doesn't know. She don't even have a clear picture. But all she wants is that roller day, taking pictures, wearing Javas, Of Wamsaga, that is too much now.
Akachizira.
Want to get married while you're already finished. But not kupera kwekwe. Like you even someone who want to pay your lobola, you might ask you for the price to be deducted. Hello everyone, welcome to Timeless Union with Yolanda, and today we are going to discuss on a topic, traditional relationship against modern relationships. My name is Steve, and this time I'll leave for my others to introduce themselves.
Hello everyone, my name is Chinotenda Chari.
Greetings everyone, the midweek host here, Simba.
Hello everyone, so I'm Tatenda Fusire, and most of the people know me because of my YouTube channel, which is Find Your Voice with Tatenda.
Hello guys, I am Yolanda and I will be your host for Timeless Union with Yolanda. So today, as we are diving into our topic, a very beautiful but controversial topic, we'll be talking about traditional relationships and modern relationships. So to my guests, I want to hear your insights. What do you think about the traditional ways of relationships and how we are now doing the relationships in this modern world as AMA 2K?
Okay, so once again, I feel good to be here to discuss something that resonates with the youth of present day. There's been a variation in how things used to be done comparing to the present day with regards to dating and relationships, as we would want to call it. If we look at how our parents used to do relationships and how we are doing relationships, there's been a huge gap. Maybe we would like to term it as generational gaps. Yes, of course, there has been a lot of passage of time that has passed from when our parents used to date or be in relationships, as we are now in the present day. There's been a lot of evolving technologically, socially, things have been changing. But as for me, I do believe that it hasn't been an area of concern in terms of how we do things. I do believe that we have took things a little bit extra as the present day generation. We have diluted a lot of things. We have changed a lot of things in the way that things used to be done. Maybe because of the times. Yes, of course, I don't disagree. But I think we have overly done it, because nowadays the relationships do not really mean a thing. We are just in them, maybe to pass time, maybe to prove points. It's no longer carrying the real value like they used to do back then as compared to present day. So maybe before we even go deeper, I'll give others a chance to maybe share their views and thoughts before we get to the real points.
Okay, so I think I'll sideline with Brother Simba here. I think if we are to check properly, like traditional relationships, to some extent they were of good view, and they had pros and cons. Because if we were to check nowadays, the way we do our relationships and the way our parents used to do their relationships, it's actually I think we have came to a point where we have distorted our norms and values, like the culture, like in everything, the way we just do our things. Because our parents used to, whereby when you're told not to do something, our parents would actually follow it because they know it's something that has to be done and they literally have to follow it. But then nowadays we have come to a point where we I don't know whether it's due to social media or what, but then we have at some point changed the way everything was done. So yeah, I'll pass to the next person.
Yeah, in my point of view, I see that in this generation, this modern generation, the relationship nowadays is different from the traditional. In this modern generation, people are now in relationship because of some pressures, and they have adapted their own way of conducting relationship rather than the traditional ways. And the relationships, these modern relationships, they're often driven by peer pressure and social media platforms. That's what people are now really concentrating on these modern relationships. So I'll leave this time to the others for their point of view.
For me, I feel like traditional relationships were filled with intentionality and respect. There was a ground of respecting, because when they were dating, right, and when they were in a relationship, both families knew these people are in a relationship. So there was that thing of respect between the both parties, and they had intentions of getting married. But then, because of social media and Ama2K, we are not intentional about our relationship, and we lack respect for ourselves, we lack respect for our parents, because people are just doing things because some of people are dating because they want to gain something financially. There is always a benefit to why they are dating. If you see most of the relationship, sometimes it's because of social status. That's the modern dating now. Sometimes it's because someone is looking for a financial stability, if I may say, and someone is also because of status. There is a guy that you would date and all the girls will praise you, ukupisa, because you're dating this guy because he's that in the streets. So I feel like at the end of the day, we also have to define what relationship are we going to engage in. Are we going to be in a traditional relationship kind of way or a modern one? Yeah.
Okay, so all being said, we know that after all the perspectives we've given, it's right and that's what is happening. But we want to go back when we are saying traditional.
Yeah.
In the traditional ways of relationships, there are various relationships, various ways people formed these relationships. We find out that if we are talking about Zimbabwe, then is Msengabere kutizira, but in that time, it was something respectful. There was a way they would find it respectful to be said, akatizira. People would understand, and their status and all that would be kept. Their social status won't change, their prestige. But now when we come to the modern society, if you hear that tatenda akatizira, there is that pressure, the social pressure you get. So how do we then come and differentiate these types of relationships? How do we then say, this one, it will benefit me, this one, it will be respectable, like we said, that it was about respect and social honor of that time. But now that we are in this modern world, how is it going to help us? How do I keep the respect for my family, the status? considering the right ways of relationships.
Okay, I would say something first. I think the first thing is you have to define what a relationship is to you. Don't go to social media to check what relationship is to them, because what might work for your relationship, for what might work for someone's relationship might not work for your relationship. So at the end of the day, we have to know ourselves and know what type of a relationship do you want. So if you are in that state, because now we don't know ourselves, we don't even know what we want actually, and then we want to be in a relationship. And this modern relationship, it's all about buying each other flowers and stuff, and that's it. Doing extra things that people who are married are doing, right? Yet there is something better than that. Relationship needs work. People back then used to work for their relationship. They used to get to know each other deeply and all that. And this thing of, you mentioned something of, kutisira and stuff, right? Just going to somebody's house and all that. I feel like that part of Musengabere also had its consequences that we can't follow these days. Like, you can't just go to somebody's son that you don't even know and say, okay, I want to get married to you and I want to spend the rest of my life with. There are a lot of consequences. There are abuse. If we talk to our grandparents also in traditional marriage, there is a lot of abuse. But because these people, they have endurance, they stayed and they learned to make it work somehow, somewhere. But this generation, I'm a 2K, no, all we want is soft life. So this thing of going and say, okay, I'm just going and be with this man and stay with him without getting to know each other and without him investing so much, because what makes you value a thing is the time and the effort that you have put in the product that you want to have. So if he has gotten you easily, sometimes it's hard for him or her to keep it, because I can get this thing easily, so I can leave it and move to the next thing the next day because it's easy to get. That is what's happening these days. We are just moving, today I'm with this person, and then you just break up because the moment that you're going to turn around, you get another person out there. So we have to value yourself and give yourself value. I can't say you should be hard on it or hard on someone to get you, but then you have to put a value. He should see the value in you, not like just going to somebody's house and say it worked back then because of their endurance, but it can't work for us. We don't have that endurance, I guess, in our generation.
Okay, so as for me, I think I would just try to elaborate furthermore to some of the points that she said, like in terms of value. If you were to check in contemporary time, like nowadays, people, we value materialistic things in relationships. We don't necessarily have to sit down and think like, what exactly do I want? And if this is what I want, is it the same thing that person wants? Are we like not really being meant for each other, but are we on the same page? Like, are we on the same ground, like the ground basis? Because if we were to check, like back then, our parents, they used to value themselves, like respect themselves. Nowadays, when a guy has to approach you, he doesn't have to think twice. Kuti muno andiri kuda kunonyenga oyoyo tiri kupindirane rekana kuti. It's not at some point. Yes, we tend to blame the boys kuti he did this and that, but then we don't tend to realize kuti us as girls, we are putting it on ourselves. Like I said before, our parents at first tried to be hard kuti mukomana angokasikuruka asvika. They had certain ways to do it, but then nowadays the way we present ourselves, do you know kuti uchingozvifambira a boy can tell kuti apapo if I do this kana kuti ndikangotaura story yakati anobvuma chete, but then kana ukazvipresenta zvakanaka anogona kutoita confusion, like the guy gets confused kuti how am I going to start it, what if I say this and she thinks it other ways, you get it. So I think the way we present ourselves and self-respect is the most paramount thing. And if we are to check with what is going on nowadays, like the issues like she said before, like we are now normalizing it as if it's something normal. But then back then, trust me, if you're like your parents, if you are to sit down and have such discussions with your parents, they will tell you it was something you can actually be disowned from your family. But then nowadays, and this we also put the blame parents, they are letting it be, or it's us who's like lose self-control. I don't know exactly, but then somewhere somehow there's something that we have distorted that we used to follow, and it's now hard for us to go back to the old times. And at some point those old times, they helped us preserve a lot, because nowadays we have lost a lot to an extent. Even the process of the bride price praying, the lobola praying and stuff, it now seems useless at some point, because if they would actually remove it, because they have distorted, I think, 3/4 of the culture that was followed back then. So yeah, I don't know about others.
Okay, I would like to bring light to something that is in line with what everyone else was saying. So if we look at it, things have been evolving, but in the evolving of things, we haven't taken much consideration into transforming with times accurately. Why do I say so? Things are changing. We have changed the belief system because we are being exposed to a lot of information, and the information we are exposed to, it kind of dilutes what we have originally believed or trusted to be true. So that exposure that we are getting from the information, we haven't been able to create a synchronization with our own cultures and value system. So there is now this gap between what we believe and the information we get versus the society. We are not moving together in synchronization with the society. We are just moving with technology. We are just moving with the cultures that we are adopting from the West, but we are not also moving what we used to believe with us when we get there. So you realize that there is a huge gap between the two, which is creating more problems because we are adopting cultures without adopting the baseline of those cultures. So we have transformed the way we do our relationships based on a certain culture that we are borrowing from elsewhere, which it makes it a lot more difficult for us to manage, because now we are caught in between our original social culture versus the Western adopted culture. So we are mixing the two. So we are confusing ourselves on how we should really engage in relationships that are meaningful, that are transformational, because now we are taking some things from this side, we are taking some things from this side, and we are trying to mix it, and those things are not working, which is why the relationships of present day are not working, which leads me to a standpoint that we really need to stick or to stand with the traditional way of relationships, because it was more directive, it was more conservative, and it was more intentional, and it led to better results than we are facing today. There's a lot of confusion in what we are doing. There's a lot of breakups, heartbreaks, whatever you name it, because we are trying to mix things that do not mix.
In this modern generation, I agree with your point. People have been adopting the Western culture of which currently doesn't really blend. That's why most of the relationships are not working well, because in this modern generation we're in a relationship with too much expectations. Like people don't really know what they want. They are only dating, maybe they're in a relationship with the expectations of maybe their friends or someone, or the value, the fame, to gain the fame in the society. So that's why we find out that some of the relationships are not working. So I'll leave this time for others.
Okay, so basically we are saying there is now a very big gap for the traditional relationships to be in line with the modern relationships. But so that brings me to another question. How then do you see, or what are your insights on those people, especially girls, who wants to be serious when they think it's now their right time to get married? They now start to go back to those traditional ways. They now want to present themselves as if they are those decent girls, they are ready for marriage, they are respectful, but all this while before their marrying time and all that, they have been doing the modern things, they are doing the Gen Z things. But because now it's time to get married, they are now trying to go back to the right way of relationships. What are your insights in line to that?
Okay, as for me, I actually think Kuti, in the sense like you asked your question, Kuti, you actually know Kuti, you wanna get married now, and you now try to like kuzirijusa to an extent that you want to present yourself presentable, yet you know you are not. I feel like old habits die hard. No matter how hard you try to polish up and make yourself look good, somehow it will always show up. I remember my mom used to say this saying, ma sports e jaguar. No matter how hard you try, even if okay did a paint or what, they will always show up. Saka, no matter the fact you something like the bad habits that you decided to follow or you let yourself do, somehow it will show up. So I think it's now a thing like whereby we have to go back, like Tatenda said before, you have to think, what do I really want? Don't go for what people say. Don't go for what the next person is doing. Because if I'm in a relationship, I know this is my guy. We are doing this and that because that's what works for us. If where you are the next person, you have to watch, maybe let's say we did a video and then we posted it. Don't go to your boyfriend and do the same thing or try to let him follow that because he is not that person. You guys, you're actually two different people from us. We are doing that because we know that is what works for us. We are who we are and you are who you are. Don't be who you are just because of someone. Be who you are because of yourself, because you know what you really want. Because that's why you realize nowadays the relationships, they are turning out to be materialistic. Because the moment I realized okay, maybe brother Simba is in a relationship and he went to a gift shop, akatengira bibi like shidori, flowers and all the stuff, and then the girl posts akabereka shidori, you know the drama we do girls nowadays. You get it. So in just because I feel that pressure, I see that video, I go to my boyfriend, I'm like, you wanna what he did. I think if you are to do that, it might work. Or maybe some girls, they might even come to you otita kunge arikuruisana niwe, otita kunge kuprove a point kuti he did that for her girlfriend, you never did anything for me. Like, if we are to check nowadays, most of the relationships are pairing. Because back then our parents, they only cared for their mutual feeling. It's about the mutual feeling, not about the materialistic things. Because these materialistic things, they are just there to distract us. Saka you now have to be in a point where you know how to differentiate kuti fine, of course we have to balance and at some point put these things, but where, like, how exactly should I fit them in, and are they necessary for me to fit them in, or I'm just making things from bad to worse? Because there are some problems that you realize kuti and then you try to check kuti why is she angry, cannot why is he angry. But we are just focusing on what others are doing. Pressure, too much pressure. We no longer follow who we are and what you want, and which is something Chandru Kona challenger nowadays relationship to an extent. Sometimes we are animal, but the fact where you present yourself either ways, that person's and also feel up. Do you know kuti boys in most cases in Inang, from what I've seen from my brothers, like I said before, kuti I'm the only girl. Like my brothers, they would actually tell you kuti, you see that girl, I did this and that for him, and he like for her, and she did that. Like the way you how are you going to respond? How will you react to that? And at the moment you tend to react either ways, that person will be like, that means I'll have to do this. Nowadays, we are no longer being ourselves, guys. We are doing things to impress people, to impress the society. And this thing of pressure groups, you have your friends just because this is what your friends like and this is what we have interest in as a group. You now want to do that and forget that a relationship is for two. The third one is a destroy. So you have to focus on what exactly do we want ni munhu wangu. Kwete kungofita into my unnecessary pieces, to my unnecessary pawns. Those are to destroy our nowadays relationships.
That's so informative. I want to tackle what Orlando said. Yeah, about how can we maneuver the instance that someone has been living a certain way and now you want to change because now you want to get married. Firstly, I like people to understand that you reap what you sow, such as the Bible says. You reap what you sow. There are certain things that we do and we don't automatically feel or understand the consequences to it. So we believe that we will get away with it. Yes, of course, we may get away with it. I cannot speak in the position of God. God will forgive you. You become a new being. It's between God and you, but what we do will follow us. What we do will always produce a certain fruit of some nature. So we have to understand that in whatever we are doing in present day, there is a certain fruit that is going to come out of it. That's the first thing. The second thing is we have to prioritize principles. You know what made the relationships of back then to last is they were built on principles. So if you're someone of principle, you do not bend, you do not change. Your principles are straight. Principles don't bend, don't twist. So if you are a straight up person, you're a straight up person. No matter what is going on, no matter the pressure, the everything, you are a straight up person. So to avoid such instances, let's just be people of principle. When we become people that are standing on principles, we become people that do not want to change colors like a chameleon. You just look at me and you understand, no, this is Simba. There's nothing more to it. Even if I remove the hair that is in my head, I'm still Simba. So we must be those people that are principled. You know, the way you are, the person that you are, everyone knows that you are this and you walk that way. That way we avoid such instances whereby you are trying to jump across things. I want to enjoy, I want to do this, I want to enjoy, now I want to come this side, I'm this side. There's a old story of time of a certain event whereby they were distributing milk, they were distributing meat, and because of indecisiveness, one person kept moving from this line to this line until there was no food. So the same thing is going on with our generation. We are stuck in between until we realize we can never belong anyway. And it's a bad thing for us, the youth, because we are wasting our time. And when the time comes, it will be too late. We'll realize it later on in life that no, we were just playing with ourselves. We were not fooling anyone, but I was just fooling myself.
Yeah, I agree with what my brother Simba was saying, that you always reap what you sow. No matter whatever you hide, the ones will always be shown. So in this modern, in our modern relationships, people tend to try to change at the last minute when they're about to get married. But trust me, some of us, just because of these peer pressures, you want to get married while you'll be already finished, but not kupera like you even someone who want to pay your lobola, you might ask you for the price to be deducted because you do not have that value. So I don't know, but there's really a challenge in this generation, very, very strong challenge.
Okay, so I would want to say, when you get married, you marry the principle. So when you're changing for marriage, are you changing because there are people that we're all Christian, but it's not like we are all Christians. You understand? There's a difference between just going to church and attending church and having a relationship with God. So there are people that did things and stuff like that, and when they change, when they evolve, Elder Machando said this person used to go to the bar and do things right, but now she's changed and she has a principle that God has made in her, right? She can be a better person in marriage, right? What's the drive motive for you changing? Is it just because you want to get married and you're trying to change, but you're not changing the principles? So when you're changing, you have to change the principles that you used to have, not just changing and your principles are still the same. You still have that behavior of, I don't know, ladies, we all have that behavior of, I don't know, and the guys also have a behavior of, you have lust, you want to be with everyone, you want to date every girl, you want to have side chicks, and they're like, okay, I will change because I want to get married. I would lie to this girl and I will be with her. The next thing, those are bad habits, like what she said. You do that in the marriage. And the girl, the same thing. If you want to sleep around and all that and say, I'll change for 3 months and then I'll get married and I'll be fine in the marriage, you'll find yourself sleeping around when you're a married woman. So if it's changing, you have to change the principality, not just minor changes. So at the end of the day, even the person that wants to marry you has to assess the principality. What are the principles that you now have? Because you've said you've changed. What are the principles? You have to show us your principles. Not just like, oh, I've changed. I'm now wearing long dresses. What? You can wear long dresses, but what is modesty? It's in the heart. So if the heart doesn't have modesty, the marriage will suffer. Because even our parents, what made their relationship strong was the heart. Their heart was clean, and it has intentionals in everything. Like, they were intentional. They used to love, genuine love for someone. But these guys, your drive motive, you're idolizing Maroro. This guy's like what she said. These guys, only people are not thinking what they're going to do after marriage. They are thinking about the Rora day only. If you ask her, what are you going to do after the Rora day? She doesn't know. She don't even have a clear picture. But all she wants is that Rora day, taking pictures, wearing Javas, those dances and stuff. That's all what you're thinking. If it's what you're thinking of, then that you have to change. You have to think behind that. What is it that you're going to do in a marriage? Am I going to sustain the marriage as a lady? Am I going to be a good mother and a good wife? Am I going to be a good husband and a good father? If the answer is yes, and you say I've changed, then yeah, it's fine. You're good to go. You can marry or you can get married. But if not, you have to work on yourself first. You can't dwell. Also, you can't dwell in, I used to do this, so I should continue. No, change and evolve and work on yourself. At the end of the day, someone will find you and accept you with the new principle that you have. That's what I have to say.
Okay, so basically it's about character, principles. But you said old habits die hard, right? So, and if you want to go back to the traditional marriages, you find out during the funerals, especially funerals of the fathers and all that, you will see 2 or 3 kids showing up demanding, this was my father. This is my father. I also want this and this because I have the right. He is my father. But then we want to come back to the modern society, right? How do we maneuver on those situations in this modern society? Can it really be like that? Are those challenges there, or people are now trying to run away from those? They say old tradition, the old generation. They don't want to be outdated. That's how the Gen Z says it. It's outdated to be going for courtship relationship and all that. They just want to know each other, and in knowing each other, they're just doing things that were not recognized as supposed to be done during that season, during that episode. Here we are knowing each other, but in modern society, we are doing everything. Knowing each other, marriage, everything is in that same bracket. So I think for this one, we can use our comment section. Give us your insights, and don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and turn on the notification button. We are taking a small break. See you shortly. Welcome back. It's us at Timeless Union with Yolanda. So we are discussing about traditional relationships and modern relationships. And I have these burning questions. Guys, in this modern society, the contemporary society, we see boys, especially the boys, they are saying, I'm keeping my woman safe and all that. And the other ones will be saying, Arkujigirwa msaka. So how do you see this inside, whereby your girlfriend or your woman is saying, post me on social media so that people know that I am the lady. They have to know it's me, this is my territory. What's your insight on that one? And you boys, you're saying, no, if I publicize you, I'm in danger, you'll be taken. How do we balance that?
As for me, my side, honestly, I think for posting and stuff, I think those type of introductions, it should be for the family. Maybe I can post you to the family or my relatives or something, but not here in university, because everyone will be looking and you'll be like a surprise. Like I don't know why, but most of the people start loving your partner the moment you start posting. They start having that jealousy, and sometimes you'll be involved in some competitions you don't even know. Like people will be competing for you. So. And you also have some enemies who do not really. So I see it not safe to be posting. Sometimes it doesn't mean that I don't love you, but it's just that I'm keeping you safe. Because at the end of the day, it's not about posting you. If I'm just giving you love, everything, I'm giving you everything, I'm taking care of you, I think it's okay. I don't know.
They don't know me. What if they know someone else?
You know, the painful part is, I was your girlfriend. You didn't post me, but you're in the next relationship. You're now posting the person. Some of the guys do that. They were in this relationship. I want it private. But now in the new relationship, they are posting, and you start to wonder, like, why? Like, how? Honestly.
Are you not confident?
Yeah, and what's happening? Tell me what's going on. But at the end of the day, posting will not sustain a relationship. If that relationship is not strong, or is not that you guys don't have that bond, don't think posting will make it strong. No. And these guys in India, people want someone's person. I'm telling you. When you're single, it's hard to find a guy who approach you and say I love you. Just go into a relationship. 10 people, they are there telling you, but they know you are in a relationship. So it's somehow also risking, like, when you're in a relationship, you start posting about your partner, and then people want her and stuff like that. Not because they really want her. Some of the people just want to show you, like, no, we can take your lead.
Strong.
I'm stronger than you. And the lady is like, okay, so you want to give us pressure. Let's show you we can also give you pressure in that relationship, right? So at the end of the day, people are having main chick, and the main chick is being posted, but you find out the boyfriend has 5 girlfriends and their side chick. They even know they're your relationship. So posting will not keep your man. Posting will not make someone be committed to you. So it's up to you whether you want. Don't force anyone to post you. Whether you want to post it or not post it, it's fine. But don't give someone pressure, like, post me because it will keep the relationship. No, it will not. People are having side chick, and the side chick knows you're the main girlfriend, and they don't care.
So I think I will actually agree with her. Like she said, with this thing of posting and not posting, I think most of the nowadays relationships, those are the problems like that are causing conflicts. Like you guys will be flowing, but when it comes to the point of posting, the other partner is like, why don't you post me? Like she said, posting won't strengthen your relationships, because if it's a porous relationship and it's weak, trust me, the moment you post, it's gonna be worse, because there are vouchers out there. The moment they see you posting that person and they're like, this person, I'm going for him or for her, they will actually prove a point, and you go cry. And you go cry. So I think we are actually taking, like, if we are to go back to the previous section, like, we are actually like kind of adopting some things that other people do, especially these content creators. Like, they do those things for business, right, to inspire us, right? And then come as we are not doing anything. We are just trying to see if we are on the same page, if we are like compatible enough for each other, and if we really gonna make it out or work it out. But the fact that we have seen that, this is what they are doing, we forget that those people are plan. We are gonna do this and that, so that we have more likes, we have more people. That's why you realize that most of the times, if you are to comment badly or say something bad in the comment section, they won't mind, because they know that's not who they are. At some point they were doing it to just killing time. If you know the actual meaning of content writing, that's the same thing that happens. Because nowadays we now want to use the sense if you don't post me, you don't love me. Say so. Because you actually realize that one are postewa. Maybe we're going to post light to say but and trust me, most of the people, you tend to realize the moment you turn the side, everyone is talking about you. Everyone is talking about your relationship. And you feel pressured. Once you feel pressured, you are now taking that pressure back to your person. and be like, they were saying this and that. Zvabvira papi pakuda kupostwa, but you were the one who were insisting kuposta. So I think I would actually go with her when she said kuti, you don't have to pressurize your partner to post me. It has to be natural. Ngazvifile ega kuti nasi chimoko changu chiri kupisa, I want to post her oposta. Kwete kuti iwo woteta conversation yekugara pasi kutoti why usingandipost. Don't you have other things to discuss? There are other better things to talk about and to focus on rather than these posting issues, because guys, one way or another, social media is of great negative impact to our life, especially when it comes to relationships, because by social media is where we are getting a lot of stuff which is pressurize, which is now we are saying, we actually say peer pressure, but yet over social media pressure. You get it? Saka, I think we now have to be in a position whereby you understand each other. Babe, I don't poster if ashida. And some forcer. And iwewe wacho ukazona umaka postwa. Especially this thing kuti panombeta anonzanzi the August month inopisa because ndo ine X day, boyfriend's day, girlfriend's day, lover's day, crush's day. And post. What if you're not? Do you know kuti kuna umwe munhu kuti like, I don't know if it's like, don't take it in a bad way, but what I'm trying to say is kune vamwe vanhu like nowadays vatambotaura kuti ma relationships tiri kuzama kubuildana nekuona kuti munhu wauinaye boy here. Kuna umwe munhu kuti maybe patime yacho anenge achitodheta newe odiscover interest yake kuno umwe munhu, and now that you insist kupostwa, maybe anenge atogara asvitsa shoko rake uko kuti inini ndinoda kudai ndozodai, mobva matokozana mamwe ma-conflicts, unnecessary conflicts. Saka I think zviri kungoda kuti iwewe nemunhu wako muzivane zvamuri kuda. It's not all about kuposta, because mukada kufocus on kuposta, kana magara muchirwa muchatozoita rimwe posti ramuchangozokanganwa kuti muri kuposta mopostana muchirwa futi. Zvinotongozoita kuti vanhu vatongoziva kuti this is what is happening behind the scenes. Saka yeah, we don't necessarily have to focus on the posting and not posting issue.
So since everyone has had a say on this issue, I have to also have a say. So I do believe most of the things that we do has to come from a point of intention and what we want to achieve. What are we doing? What we are doing? What do we want to achieve through doing this? So you find out, like she was saying, you want to post because of pressures that you have seen somewhere, because they have posted, so I should post. I do believe like if we just be definitive about what we want and why we are doing it, it becomes a lot more simpler to our relationships or whatever things we are going on. Because trust me, if we do things because some people are doing it, we are not being true to ourselves. We are just lying out to ourselves. We are just following a trend. So people should just do things based on their feelings or their belief system. Why am I doing this? Why should I do this? Do those things. Of course, it's good. Some say it's good to constantly do those reminders. You post and you reassure someone. Yeah, I mean, relationships are for two people. So you can sit yourself down and agree on terms. What do we want to do? What should we do regarding this? This is how I feel. This is how I see things. This is how I believe you should treat me. Like I feel like you should post like. Then yeah, communication is key everywhere. So then if you can reach a consensus, fair and fine. I want to be posted. Okay, I can post you. Okay, I cannot post you. I mean, people are grown-ups. Discuss on what you want to do so that there's no those uncommunicated signals which leads to resentment and hatred. Those things, they emanate from failing to just express the littlest things. So I believe if we do that, the issue, it's not an issue to talk about.
Okay, ladies, I'm sorry, but the guys and the girls here, we are saying it's not necessary, it's not a mandatory for you to be posted, because it attracts some evil or bad behavior or intentions towards your relationship. So if you are really serious about what you are doing, there are some matters you have to put your focus on, not the social media. So I will give time to my sister. She has something to say.
Okay, for my question is, there is posting and there is a part where, for ladies, there is this unfair part that you want a private relationship, like no one should know, only the two of us. You know, we don't talk in the road, like don't talk to, no one should know, even your friends should not know that you're dating. Guys, do you think it's fair? Yes, posting I understand, but there's this part of, like, other people say kujikirwa msaga, but there's this other part of kujikirwa msaga that is too much now. Yes, we should have a private relationship, but there's the other private that is just too much. Yeah.
Okay, so boys in the house, can you explain what do you mean by private? What's that private thing? We want to know so that we understand.
Steve knows.
Yeah, but to some extent, I don't want to lie. Yeah, we've been agreeing about not just posting, but to some extent, some boys use that statement for granted. Because it will give him a passport of having about 8 to 10 girlfriends. So it becomes a challenge, it's really complicated.
Yeah, and I feel like there should be a balance, right? It should be private. You might not even post, but some few individuals knows that it's her man. Someone has to know, like, because if no one knows, like you see, there are things that we can't see in a relationship. We can't say our friends advise us to be in a relationship. You can't allow your friends to advise you. But then also there are habits that there are people that you can say this person is bad for you. You really know this person is like, you can't really advise her, but at some point you can make her see, not really saying, oh, your guy is bad, but there are things that you can make her see, like, okay, fine, this is like that, right? And also to know if the guy is cheating, even your friend to come and tell you, like, my sister, you know what, you think you're going to get married, but you're going, yes, it might, she might not say, you don't have to say it's not going anywhere. You might say, by the grace of God. By the grace of God, yeah, you might go somewhere, but yeah, it's risky. So yeah.
I have an insight, we are agreeing about posting, not posting, privacy and stuff, but you see, like, there is that curiousness that you were telling me, like, somebody is coming it too private, but when you see, like, when you're in a relationship and then someone even doesn't even bother to, like, maybe instead, rather than posting, just walking with you around during daytime, if he insists just seeing you in the evening,
let's go midnight.
If he sees you in the evening and he denies you to take you to some places, it's a waste of time, trust me.
No, by the grace of God.
So I think when the boys are saying private, we need to quote them right. It's not private as in private. They are saying, one of my brothers told me that when we are saying private, we are not saying we are hiding you, but people can know we are dating. But what I'm doing for you, those things I'm doing for you, what we are doing in our relationship, it's for us. Yeah. I will go with you out, I tell you, I show you, I do this, it's for us. Yeah. But people can know, but what we are doing, they can't know. So let's just take a short break before we come back again. Welcome back to our last segment at Timeless Union with Yolanda, where we are discussing about the traditional and modern relationships. So I will leave this time to our guests to give us their personal insights, what they really think, without giving them questions, without directing them. They just have to tell us whatever that comes to their mind when they hear about traditional and modern relationships. Over to you.
Alright, so Inina, I will start. In my own point of view, I feel like after we have discussed all these things, like the posting, the traditional relationships and all the stuff, in the end we have to come to a certain agreement kuti what is happening nowadays is wrong to some extent. And I think tichatongofanga kutongobvumirana kuti in the end we just have to be ourselves kuti zvinhu zvifambi. Because if we try to live life to impress others, what is the next person going to say, and vanofunge about what I'm gonna do, trust me, ndopatiri kuzoita ma-problems ekuti we tend to live life to impress people and tend to imitate what others do, forgetting kuti isisu what is the main reason we started this relationship. And because munhu nemunhu like tinosiyana. Because if I'm in a relationship and I know with my man, if we fight, togona disana out, we reconcile that way. As for you, you can choose that same oyo. This is how we're gonna reconcile. Because we are totally different. We now have to know kuti munhu auri kudhila naye takamira papi tiri kushandidzana sei. Plus it's not all about kutaurisa. I feel like girls sometimes we rush into kutaura before we check kuti is it necessary to papa all the time, or you have to, because honestly these people we have to understand that they are people with emotions too, and the fact that they want to maintain that thing, a gentleman doesn't abuse a lady, they will tend to let you be. And zvatokuteindirawo zita rako izvo zviya kuti instead of you having to solve that issue mega, you try to make it public to, kind of attack your partner pavanhu. Like, it's not forgetting this other thing, like I wanted to talk about it. For example, you have a conflict, you try to prove point kune munhu wako kuti you don't care kana kuti une basa through kuposta. Like, do you necessarily have to post your conflicts? But amuna kurwa nepublic ka marwa muri tu. It's a thing yamunofanirwa kugara pasi motaura nemunhu wako, because the moment you post, inini haungana ndirizenisa kunyepera ndikanotoona munhu waposta hako zvinhu zvisina kukwana ndotokuseka. Inini hangu I'm always laughing, I laugh. Saka zvaakuda kuti munhu uzive kuti zvauri kuposta izvo zvinei nevanhu. Because the moment you post, munhu nemunhu achaisa point yaanoda, and at that point kune vamwe vanhu kuti kana zvatotaurika anotozvitora sezvazviri, obva anotraya kuzvi-imply, and you try to make it practical. That's where you face challenges ekuti maakutogara muri vanhu vanonetsana, and vakomana I feel like havade pressure, because the moment wamupressurize akatofila pressure ndopaanozoita vamwe kuside. Handisi kuti umuregerera, but don't pressure them too much. Like, let them be themselves, also be yourself. Mupane room to be yourself. I think that way it's easy to balance your things.
Okay, I believe it's a wonderful conversation about modern day relationship and traditional relationships. I do believe that one thing we have to keep in mind is principles. Let's not be fooled, or let's not change the originality of things in a flare of the new things. Those things are going to affect us. They are drawing us back. They are keeping us in one position. So let's try to do the things that we have seen, that we have learned, the trusted things. Let's try to implement. I believe those things still work. Those things are still accurate. They still work. We may try to nail it on change, we may try to put it on development, but honestly, the truth of the matter is the things that we have started with, they are still the things that will thrive. Don't get unnecessary pressure, don't get external views influence how you see things or how you do your things. The truth is always the truth. The basic is always the basic. Like I said, principles don't bend. Just follow the principles, and we won't have any problems through differentiating modern day life, dating, and traditional type of relationship. We'll find a way to integrate the two to our advantage rather than trying to separate the two. Some are living there, some are living there. So there's a big gap of which trying to preach that we won't reach consensus, because some of us have developed way too faster, where they are now Western more than they are cultural. So it will be difficult to integrate the two. So as for me personally, I do believe let's stick to the original way of doing things. Let's just follow the traditional cycle of relationships. It goes a long way.
In my summary, we have been talking about these traditional relationships and modern relationships, and we have seen that the traditional relationships have been wiped away by the modern relationships. So what I would recommend, after what we have discussed and the different point of views we have read, I would just recommend us, like people in relationships, to not seek materialistic things, but rather stick unto values and principles. Because in the end, if we get our life controlled by social media or pressures, we might intend to lose potential people and potential candidates which might regret and setbacks. I think that's all that I have.
For me, I think I want to emphasize on who is, what is the core motive for that relationship? Are you on the same page? I think you mentioned it. Are you guys on the same page? Because when you're dating, someone is thinking of marriage. Do you think the other thing is thinking about the same thing? Are you on the same page? And also, is Christ in it? Because if Christ is not in that relationship, it will be hard for you guys to maintain the relationship. Because also, our parents, when they were getting married and being in a relationship, there was a base of them, praying about it, fasting. Even most of the marriages, they will tell you, I prayed and God showed me this was the person that I was supposed to be with. So if we skip that and think we'll do it in our own way and we'll actually be in a relationship that is strong, we are losing something there. And also the other thing is, our parents always tell us the things that we are supposed to do. Don't do this, don't do that. And we think, and they always say this, kumunga kunaipwa woti takazoenda kusakasara dzichimera. Don't you think those things, if they tell you they've been there, I think even what we are saying, it wasn't that because of social media was not there, but there were people that were doing the same thing that we are doing in this modern days, right? And it didn't work. And our parents have experience with these things. They know, they've been there. So when they tell you something, it's up to us now to listen to them and actually do what they're saying. And also, the Bible says, love yourself, love your neighbor as you love yourself, right? Let me quote it this way. How can you say, I want to be in a relationship with someone, yet you don't know how to love yourself? You don't know yourself. Will you be able to love someone? Because the Bible says, love yourself, love your neighbor as you love yourself. You're going to love your partner is you love yourself. You don't love yourself, yet you want to be in a relationship and guarantee yourself that you're going to love the other person that you're going to be with. That's tricky. Just try. By God's grace, I always say, by God's grace, you'll be there. You might get married, you might not. And also, this peer pressure thing, also. Do what other people are doing in their relationship, in your relationship. That's not right. Do what works for you and your partner, and communicate, know each other better. And also, I can say something about love language. We have 5 love language, and everybody has their love language. So there is touch, there is words of affirmation, we have quality time, we have gifts, we have acts of So now, when you are in a relationship, the first thing you have to do is to pray about it. Get to know yourself first before you get into a relationship. Have a relationship with yourself and know yourself, and know how best can you be there with the person that you want.
So that was it from our guests. I want to thank you for the insightful points you have shared with us. What I managed to learn is you have to be yourself firstly, avoid peer pressure, and don't change for the sake of someone. Keep your morals, but if you are to change for the good. Your principles should be those which are godly, that won't lead you astray. And also, I think everything has been said. You can go through our video, you can like, subscribe, share with others, and also give us your insights on what you think about these traditional and modern society relationships, so that we learn together, we learn as a family. So thank you to my guests. Thank you so much for showing up, and thank you for teaching us. Also want to thank the Lord for allowing us to be here. That was all from Timeless Union with Yolanda. See you next time.